I am back from the half marathon. I'm hurting. My feet hurt. My mind is just disarray from everything that happened today. Because I tell you what, running that half marathon was probably one of the greatest and toughest things I've ever done at the same time. You know, I played sports my whole life. I've been in front of big crowds or whatever. But running in a marathon, that is probably the most excitement, enthusiasm there is in like any sporting event that I probably really witnessed. And I think it's just for the fact of how many people were out there. I ran the Nashville Music City Marathon, in case you didn't know, the half marathon, 13.1 miles. So I remember this morning when I got there, and actually I meant to make a video this morning before I went, how I was kind of excited about the race. So I was just so excited and I forgot, and it was raining this morning and I had to walk over there and it was cold and rainy. But anyways, when we started the race, like we're all standing there in the middle, you know, I was in packed corral 12 or whatever, and there's 1,000 people in each corral, and I looked at the beginning of the race line, I looked all the way to the back, and there was a sea of people as far as I could see, because it was going down West End, one of the main streets in town, and it was absolutely amazing, not to mention how many people were lining the streets into the Centennial Park, all the bands that were playing, and it was just a great experience. I actually ran with some friends of mine, and I think I left them about mile 1. They were, it was some girls, and they couldn't weave in and out of people like I could, so they kind of got left behind, but they eventually caught up about mile 13. Anyways, the experience of running that race was, I don't know, the emotions going through your mind, because, you know, originally coming out from the starting line, I was just killing it. I mean, probably pushed myself too fast, but just all the excitement, and I actually saw one guy pass about half a mile, then I could tell he wasn't that good a shape, and I was like, man, he just didn't have any clue what he was getting himself into. But anyways, probably about mile 5 or 6, it was, I started kind of feeling it, hurting a little bit, but the people that lined the road, sat in their front yards, and we ran through some historic neighborhoods in, you know, downtown Nashville, and we ran across one of the interstates a couple times, and into Belmont and Hillsborough Village. People were just sitting out there cheering you along. There was so many volunteers out there handing us water and Accelerate, and there was even somebody out there holding these little sticks, and I have no idea what the sticks were. The sticks look like Vaseline to me, so I need to find out from somebody. I didn't know if it was some kind of Accelerate to help you with some energy, some sugar. But anyways, I went through a ton of emotions going through the race. I went through, this is awesome, I'm so excited, you know, that nervous feeling, the anticipation. So, you know, you start realizing what you're doing here about mile 5 or 6, and it's something that you've been training for months to do, and then you realize when that race is over, you know, it's almost like a little part of your life that you lived is kind of gone from that point in time. And then and that's kind of sad in a way, but then something that you accomplish, and especially something that I didn't think that I would ever accomplish. I did see my family. They were on the street, on 17th Avenue, I think. I saw them, and they were looking for me, and I actually stopped for a second so my mom could get a picture. And then they walked over to one of the other streets, and they caught me coming back, and they caught me coming back right about mile 9, which I was hurting right about mile 9, and I was going through one of those little hills that you have to go through, the little bumps, and I was running up a hill too, and I was struggling. But then I see these old women out here pushing their baby strollers, and that kind of, I'm like, if they can push a baby stroller out there, by gosh, I can run up this hill. So then I got to mile 10. Mile 10 to probably mile 12 was the toughest. I actually had to stop at one point in time, which I refused. I did not want to stop, but I had to because I was getting cramps in my hips, and it was hurting so bad, so I had to stop and walk a little bit. I made sure I stopped and walked where there wasn't a whole lot of people around, so I didn't want anybody to see me that I knew. But I guess the whole world knows now since this is YouTube or Google or whatever you're looking at. But you know, one of the other things that I wanted to kind of mention was how great I think the city of Nashville is for all the support that everybody was out there and cheering and the energy. And then if you haven't watched, you know, the energy just spreads. And if you hadn't watched the video that I have uploaded on here, it's about it's about the 100th monkey, it's about the tipping point or critical mass. You need to watch that video because that's what I was thinking about a lot of time when I was running, about how just one thing kind of spreads like wildfire. The energy in that place in Nashville was unbelievable. Everybody pushed everybody. Everybody was cheering everybody on the whole race. I was even done with the race, and I was coming back home. I couldn't get back over to my house because I lived over here by Vanderbilt, by Music Row, when we run up Music Row. So there were people actually still walking the marathon, and people were still there cheering them on. And that was 3 or 4 hours after the race. After the race started, and most of those people were on mile 8, and they were walking. But you know what? People still stayed out there and cheered. And I talked to a couple of them out there, which I thought was great, because you know, most people want to pack up and go home after you see the people that you know run by you. But they still stayed out there and they cheered those people on, which was probably very encouraging to them, because they still had about 5 or 6 miles to go. Anyway, I encourage you to check out some of my other videos about. I got one about mindset, and also I have one about you know, the tipping point, critical mass, 100th monkey. It's a good story, and it'll help you change the way you think about some things in life. And also, look, go over here on my profile over here and subscribe to my YouTube account, so you can get updates and everything from every time I put up a new video. So I look forward to getting to know you. I'll have more updates. I'm gonna try to run another half marathon in one day. Maybe not tomorrow, but I'm gonna try to run a full marathon. But I don't know how that's gonna go. I know exactly how it's going, because I'm gonna do it. So anything you put your mind to, you're gonna do. I put my mind to this, I did it. Okay, I'll talk to y'all later. You have a great day. Bye.